laser will produce calibrated pulses of intense light over a short period of time. Okay, so I have a concentrated energy via photons, which will be absorbed by the substances contained in the hair's chromophores. So melanin, intradermal water. And depending on the technology, different chromophores can be activated. If you can, with light absorbed, transform into heat and destroying the hair follicle. The first type of melanin is called eumelanin, which is a high UV protection and provides a darker pigmentation. So people with darker skin types will have a higher concentration of eumelanin. The second type of melanin is pheomelanin, which has a low UV protection and provides a lighter pigmentation. Adapting, as I was saying, depending on the high concentration, high density of hair or lower density, I'm going to adapt my fluence. And depending on the skin type, from a skin type 1, skin type 6, I'm going to adapt and change my hertz in this laser that we're going to show, the Lasera. So what you got to understand, depending on the skin type, I'm going to change my parameters. Okay. But it's important to understand that depending on the part of the body I'm working with, the hair cycle is going to be different. For the upper lip, for example, we're looking at a hair cycle growth of 6 to 9 months, whereas for the underarms and the pubic area, we're looking at 15 to 18 months. How does it feel? We're working with something that's highly comfortable for all models. The comfort will depend on several factors, which will be the cooling system and the intensity, how quickly I can get this done. But most importantly, is going to be the cooling system. What am I going to feel? A slight tingling sensation, rubber band slap, like a pinch, which is mandatory. If I don't feel it, I need to bump up the energy because this is not a walk in the park. I need to feel something. It needs to be a little bit more aggressive then. If I don't have this, I don't destroy the hair follicle, okay? And of course, a small sensation of heat. The heat is part of the laser. I'm casting an energy that goes up to 158 Fahrenheit. So obviously, it's gonna be hot a little bit. Obviously, also, we have a high cooling system, which reduces drastically the sensation of heat and comfortable, but still you're gonna have a warmth that's followed with the rubber band pinch. So the hair growth went into this, again, 3 phases: anagen phase, catagen phase, and telogen phase. Anagen phase being the growth phase, the catagen being the transition phase where my hair is detaching itself, and the telogen phase where it's going to rest and fall to go back again into the anagen phase. 2 ways to work with a diode laser. I'm going to have my classic, used in most high-powered laser, continuous or simple pulsing. We're going to call it for this session, the simple pulsing. And then I'm going to have what we call the sub-pulsing, fractionated pulsing. The first one, classic simple pulsing. Hertz are going to be referred as the number of pulses casted per second. Here, we're going to take the example of our Leaseir, which is the latest model, the fastest hair removal device on the market. It works on all skin types, fastest hair removal experience, can work up to 4 hertz, so 4 pulses per second on a continuous mode. It works also on pulse by pulse. We'll see it. Pulse by pulse, I press, I press, I press, I press. Only 1 pass, so technically 3 times faster than traditional laser. So high energy, it's important to master it correctly. This is why we provide good training, a full day of training on our clients, one morning on theory and the afternoon on practice. And here we're going to dive into a super pulse mode, which is more suitable for darker skin types. Technically, we can use it on all skin types, but here we're delivering 10 hertz. So we're going to split more the energy per second, and I'm going to go way faster as well, okay, to reduce the buildup, the high intensity of heat, and just avoid any risk of burn and high discomfort. The second type of laser that we have is going to be what we call the pulse fractioning or the sub-pulsing. So here in this case, the hertz are not referred by the number of pulses per second. We're working with one pulse at a time here, and the hertz are going to be referred as the number of sub-pulses casted per second. Basically, I'm taking one pulse, I'm cutting it. The more hertz, the more cut, the more pauses, and the higher number of hertz, meaning I'm going to do a higher number of pauses. The classic hertz, we're saying when we have 4 hertz, I have 4 pulses. So this is why it's going to be way faster, way more efficient as far as time efficient. Here it's still going to be efficient, but it's going to take a safer approach, a more gradual building approach. We'll see this because we take one pulse and we split it. And the hertz are going to be referred as the number of split that I'm doing within the pulse. This is why we call the pulse fractioning or the sub-pulsing. When I'm pressing on, the hair temperature is growing faster than the skin temperature. And when doing a pulse, it's going to decrease in temperature less than the skin. Doing another pulse and so on and so on and so on and off and off and off. I go up to 158 Fahrenheit for my hair, which is what we want to destroy the hair follicle, and 104 Fahrenheit for the skin. So overall, way smoother experience for my skin, is not going to be as aggressive in heat. When I press on and I press my laser, my hair temperature will grow faster than my skin temperature. And when I'm doing a pause, it's going to cool less than my skin temperature. When I press on again, same process, off again, on again, off again, on again. When I reach 3 breaks and 4 pulses, I reach 158 Fahrenheit. But thanks to those pulses, the temperature of my skin gradually decreased or did not increase as much as the hair temperature. Hence, I'm going to reach 104 Fahrenheit for the skin temperature and 158 Fahrenheit for the hair temperature. So overall, smoother experience, a little bit safer approach. We call this gradual heating, gradual buildup of the heat in other devices. It's another approach, safer, more comfortable. I'm going to have the single pulsing, which works more on efficiency and quickness. So deliver direct pulses, effective for quick treatments, but higher risk of heat buildup and discomfort. Versus the fractionated pulsing, the sub-pulsing method, which delivers the required energy in smaller controlled doses with cooling period, ideal for sensitive skin and reduce the risk of adverse effect. So I have one method that is focused on quickness and efficiency, and I have one method that is focused on safety and comfort. So two approach, depending on the need of my spa, I'm going to have an option. I'm going to have an option for someone that just started and want to build up reputation, that doesn't have a lot of experience on laser hair removal. I recommend going, for example, on safety and comfort. If I have a high turnover, I want to get this done fast. I know I'm going to do it quick. I know what I'm doing. Single pulsing, efficient, fast, 6 minutes to do a full leg, 35 minutes to do a full body. And in comparison, I'm going to be 3 times faster than a fractionated pulsing. So depending on what you can take and what do you want, you have an option. To finalize my thought on pulse fractioning, so we said gradual buildup of the heat versus straight heat on the first classic pulsing method. Here again, it's the laser repetition rate or the pulse repetition frequency. On a classic laser, the hertz is going to be the amount of pulse I'm doing per second. Here, it's the amount of sub-pulses. So I'm still working with one pulse, but the hertz is going to be defined as the number of breaks, number of sub-pulsing I'm doing. Pulse by pulse, I'm going to change my interface, put 1 second working type. I'm going to change my pulse duration, my fluence. I can change directly my crystal on a handpiece. I have, again, other videos of the pulse by pulse. So on the Lasera, the good thing is that we can change directly the parameters on the handpiece. I don't have to go back to my screen all the time. And then we have a second mode, which is the continuous mode. So the Lasera is not just slower. We can also work on larger area we can work in 10 seconds, and I'm going to do around 6 passes back and forth during 10 seconds in a line of 4 inches with the crystal size. And I have a large, medium, or small crystal size. So back and forth, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6. 10 seconds again. So here in this area, I gradually build up the heat, and in 10 seconds, I'm going to have enough time compared to the area to destroy the hair follicle on all the area. What results can we expect before the first session on a type 4? After the first session? After the second? After the third? The body and the face, why we have those different things? Because I'm working with the hair cycle again, and as you progress into the treatment, the hair is going to be taking more time. It's going to grow back thinner. And you want, when you do each session, to have at least a good amount of hair to destroy. Because if I go ahead of myself and I schedule another session too quickly, your client will come back. I'm going to destroy the hair, but not the hair follicle, okay? So there's a waste of resources, there's the waste of money for your client, there's the waste of time for you. So you need to wait until it grows back in the thickest you can, and this is why you want to bump the fluence as you progress into the treatment, because your hair is going to grow back with less melanin, and so you want to make sure you're destroying it at each time, basically. So stronger influence and more space out because you work with the hair cycle.